Hello and welcome to Cash in the Celebrity Attic, the show that finds treasures around the homes of the well-known and then helps them sell them at auction, and all for a good cause of their choice. Today we're in Lancashire, not far up the coast from Blackpool, and I'm on my way to meet a supersonic comedian who was once part of a famous double act. With his distinctive glasses, he cut a slender figure next to his rather more robust partner. Have you guessed who it is yet? Today's famous guest is the comedian Syd Little, born and bred in Blackpool, and one of the county's most famous residents. Born Cyril Mead in 1942, he's best known for his partnership with Eddie Large. Winning the talent show Opportunity Knocks changed their lives, and neither of them has looked back. These days, Syd flies solo, and he still performs on TV, cruise ships, and in pantomime. He married Cherie in 1972, and they have a son called Dominic. Coming up on Cash in the Celebrity Attic, Syd shows that he still has what it takes.
Well, I woke up this morning, I felt so erratic. The house had been invaded by those people from Cash in the Attic.
He's used to being the straight man.
As you can see, it's very flattering, isn't it, you know?
But will he have the last laugh at auction?
Hands up all those who thought I was dead.
Find out where the hammer falls.
Good morning, Jenny.
Hi, you ready for it? Joining us today with over 20 years' experience in the antiques trade is our expert Paul Hayes. Syd's wife Cherie will be helping us out too.
Oh, hello.
Hello, nice to see you.
You must be Cherie.
I am, yes.
Do you mind if I make a start?
No, not at all.
Great.
Go.
Well, we better go and find Syd. Is he lurking somewhere?
He'll be hiding somewhere, I think, yes. Okay. Found him, here he is.
Hello.
Hi, how are you? All right.
Are you hoping to get out of the programme or something?
Yeah, yes. Yeah, well, this is my little den. This is my little retreat. When I get told off, I come in here, you see.
All right.
Yes.
How often do you send him in here, then?
Oh, often.
As you can see, I've got a lot to do.
It's very nice. What, you're building boats?
Yes, model boats, that's one of my hobbies, apart from playing guitar and singing, and which became my job, of course. So,
Tell me, have you got lots of bits and pieces around the house? Are you collectors?
we're hoarders. Yeah.
We are, yes.
Yeah.
Many years together, we're definitely hoarders, yeah.
Good.
So this is a good excuse to get rid of everything.
Yeah.
So what are we going to be raising money for today?
For Alzheimer's. My best friend's father has it. He's in a nursing home. And it's very close to my heart. Well, both of us, isn't it?
And what target do you think you'd like to set? How much could we make?
Well, what?
500?
Yeah.
£500?
We're not looking big.
OK.
Little, not large. Yeah.
Oh, hey, the first crack of the day. Way. All right.
Let's hope it's the last.
Brilliant. £500 then for Alzheimer's. Great cause, good target. Let's get rummaging.
£500 sounds a very fair target for a cause that's so close to their hearts. This 1930s house has been the Littles' home for 10 years. They share it with their son Dominic and Cherie's parents. They're all rather modest about what they call their clutter around the house, but to an expert like Paul, the Littles' life laundry contains much of value.
So what's this, one of your favourites?
This one actually is this one. It's although it looks newish, it's I've had it a few years, but this actually went to Australia with me. I did the QE2, and I do a lot of cruise ships now. And it was the first. I would never do it again. I went on the QE2 for 4 days, but I had to travel to Australia to pick it up, and it took me a fortnight to get over it. But
It's a long way, isn't it?
it is, yeah.
So you do a bit of a sort of song and dance act?
Oh yeah,
or?
guitar, do a lot of jokes, anything really, just to get through 45 minutes spot, yeah.
But this is a Yamaha Pacifica. This is a range that Yamaha came up with in the 1990s. But they originally started making reed organs in the 19th century. But they've made motorcycle parts, they've made electronic items, but now they're one of the biggest producers of musical instruments in the world. So there's a big following, actually. They're quite a cult item. You haven't got a amp?
Well, yeah, but it's an old one, yeah.
Would that be able to go with it? Just to give it a chance for the complete package then, isn't it?
Good idea.
All right, there you go.
I would think that's very, very saleable, actually.
If you could sign it, I think that really would help, actually. And if you had an amp that went with it, it's a package deal, somebody starting out, it's a wonderful thing to have. I mean, if I said sort of 70 to 100, that sort of price?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
OK, that's a deal. That's a good start.
A done deal.
We've got the rest of the house to rummage, though. So, come on,
Okay.
put that down. No more time for playing.
OK.
Yeah.
Syd may have been the most self-effacing of the little and large partnership, but he was never timid when it came to music. And he's hoping there'll be someone out there just waiting for the chance to own a signed supersonic guitar. As we divide our efforts across the many nooks and crannies, Cherie leads Paul to a corner that's arguably the most tempting.
There's a few bits here.
Now, these are beautiful. Now, there's some nice examples. This salad bowl here, I mean, can that go?
No,
No.
too precious. That was my grandfather's. He won that for running. He was a runner, so it's too precious, that one, yeah.
So that's come down the family then?
Yes, it has.
OK, so that's going to keep going. But I must admit, my favourite item here has to be this. Now, this has a special name. Do you know what it's called?
Tantalus.
And do you know why they're called a tantalus?
Well, it was in the old days when they used to have a key and lock them so the servants couldn't drink them when they were cleaning the house.
Exactly, it used to tantalise you, didn't it?
That's right.
But do you know where tantalus actually comes from? It comes from Greek mythology.
Oh, now you know more than I do.
Yeah. Now, do you know what? He was actually punished by the gods and he was submersed up to his neck in water with fruit trees around his head. And every time he reached for some fruit, the branches would recede, and every time he went to drink the water would recede. So he was there, poor Tantalus. But typically, late 19th century, early sort of 1900s, these items were everywhere, and they were very, very important. The one thing that does detract them slightly nowadays is the fact that because they're glass and alcohol, they do tend to damage quite easily. So is there any damage on these bottles here?
They are, yes.
All right.
There was a couple of chips when we bought it, but
I see, right.
we've probably gone a little bit further, I think.
Right, well, that's going to detract your value slightly. To find these absolutely mint is very difficult. But it's a nice frame, it's oak, it's 100 years old. But if I said, for the sake of our target today, sort of 70 to 100, do you think Syd and yourself would be willing to let that go for that?
I'm sure he would, yes, I'm sure. And hopefully somebody else will want to be tantalised with it.
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Hope so.
let's keep looking.
OK.
Now that's a very pleasing result, and it spurred Cherie on to take a closer look at just about everything. Meanwhile, Paul finds his way to Syd's den, where he discovers these cute steam toys and car models. They date from the 1960s and once belonged to Cherie's father. Clearly, Paul shares his love for vintage transport toys and thinks an enthusiast may part with as much as £150 for the collection. Now, who's that I can hear singing next door?
Well, I woke up this morning, I felt so erratic. My house had been invaded by those people from Catch in the Attic. They said, "Have you any antiques we can see?" I said, "The only antique in this house is me."
A serenade specially for us.
Yes, yes. Unfortunately, yes.
Thank you so
When are you
much.
going?
Now, of course, guitar's really important to you. You've played since you were a kid, haven't you?
Yes, well, I've got my first, it was a little ukulele banjo actually, and my dad taught me to tune it up. It was My Dog Has Fleas. And a little plastic ukulele they used to have in the 70s. Welcome to Britain, Elvis Presley guitar for 7 and 6 in the Daily Mirror, you know. And I sent away for one and I got it, and my dad, like I say, he helped me tune it up. And then that was me, I was hooked, and it was all Lonnie Donegan in those days and everything. And I was all the skiffle, because he only needed 3 chords, and that was it, you was off and running. And then I started getting involved with Mr. Eddie Large. We were friends together, you know, in the same teenage gang, and we used to go to the pubs and clubs around Manchester.
Now, of course, you had a prime time Saturday show. I mean, 8 million viewers, I think, most weeks. It was incredible. You were household names.
Cool.
And that went on, what, for 20 years?
Yeah, well, we sort of like from 70 when we Knock Knocks, we just kept doing, we did Cracker Jack, yeah, and then we did a pilot show for Roy, and that's when 76, 77 was our big year.
How did you deal deal with that kind of fame?
The only time we felt it was when we used to go in the pubs and clubs, we used to go to the bar and have a drink, and we found out you're not allowed to, you can't do that because people would inundate you. Can I have your autograph? But our feet were on the ground. We never sort of, I never had a Rolls Royce or anything. I've never gone to those lectures. Not that I wanted one, but that sort of thing. And
So it didn't really change you that much?
No, I hope it didn't. I mean, I'd like to think that through my life I've been a nice guy. I really do. Because, the people say when you're in show business, oh, there's some nasty people. But majority of the people are very nice, and I hope I'm one of them.
Modesty is definitely one of Syd's qualities, despite his years in the spotlight. But there's no holding back now. We've got to get rummaging if we're to raise that £500. In the dining room, Paul's taken by this very delicate glass and solid silver swan, given as a wedding present. He thinks it should do well at auction with an estimate of £30 to £50. Cherie bought this porcelain Nelson figure for Syd as a birthday present 15 years ago. It was made by Royal Doulton in 1980 as one of a series of ship's figureheads, part of a limited edition. Paul thinks the bidders will be happy to part with £20 to £50 for it. While we're busy uncovering family recollections of weddings and birthdays, Syd finds he has many memories of his own, back when he was basking in the limelight.
I'm here.
You entered stage left then for a minute.
Look at that, a bit of memorabilia, how about that?
These are grey, aren't they? Look at that, the Bristol Hippodrome. Isla St Clair.
Isla St Clair,
Yeah,
yeah.
remember her.
And look at that on the bottom there.
He's
The
got
Great Soprendo.
Well, I remember the Great Soprendo. I mean, he had a whole season on Morecambe Pier. But this is the golden age, really, of pantomime. You're looking at the mid-80s into the 90s. So you got a real piece of memorabilia there. So
Yeah,
you've got
well,
two little
this,
clipboards.
I don't know. Apparently, he was supposed to be quite a famous cartoonist. And
But Charles Griffin, I mean, he's actually a well-known caricature artist, and he did these satire, he did political satire. So a bit like Spitting Image, it's all that sort of era, isn't it? So did they do one of Eddie as well?
no, he didn't.
Just one of
no,
you?
No, well, I was always the brunt of, as you can see, it's very flattering, isn't it? So it was always me, yeah.
But what you've got to remember, items like these posters here had a very short lifespan. These are ephemeral items. Once that event had happened, they're no use to anybody. They're not like a painting you'd put on your wall. So things like cinema posters, travel posters, theatre programmes, it's called ephemera, and people buy into that market. And one of the rarest examples you can get is Casablanca. When that came out, they had these huge posters in all the cinemas all over the British Isles. And of course, they were designed to be thrown away afterwards. A few have survived, and one turned up recently at auction. Have a guess how much it fetched.
Go on.
£40,000.
Wow!
40 grand. Now, I think we're more 40 quid.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, 4p, yeah.
But I think these are interesting. They're all relating to yourself. It's got some good Syd Little memorabilia. If I was being conservative here, as low as I possibly can, sort of £20 to £50, I'm sure if two people really fancy them, I think we could do quite well. Does that sound all right to you?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Can I have your buttons?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Or one of the ugly sisters.
I
which one
can
am I?
see you, Pad, so you'd be very good at it. No, Prince Charming.
Well,
yeah,
thank you very
don't
much.
put yourself down.
It's
yeah.
the tights, the chafe.
Yeah.
Let's hope there'll be plenty of bidders out there for Syd's posters. And who knows, they might make a whole lot more than Paul reckons.
38, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40. No.
I'll sign it.
42. No, you said that last time and the price went down. Oh, £42. At £42. I've got the gentleman in front at £42.
Find out later if they do fetch more than we bargained for.
Thank you very much.
Our rummage in Lancashire is going very well so far. Syd's found 2 China fairy ballerinas that he gave to Cherie as a gift in the 1980s. Blackthorn and Heliotrope were designed by Cicely Mary Baker for Border Fine Arts. For some reason, they've been sitting in the attic all these years. Paul thinks they should take someone's fancy and go for between £20 and £60. As Syd continues his good work upstairs, we've just uncovered some true craftsmanship in the garage.
What have you two found?
Well,
Your
can hardly
furniture
miss it,
store,
could
eh?
no, I know, we're sort of clunked up with furniture, but Paul's quite interested in this one.
Yeah, it's a very attractive piece, actually, this one. I think it fits in with the modern look. It's very restrained, very elegant. But the style itself was developed in the 18th century, and it's after a guy called Thomas Sheraton. And he came up with the method of marquetry inlay in this particular style. and it's very distinctive. You get this wonderful fan decoration here where he's actually carved into the mahogany, which would have been expensive in its day, replaced the area there with a satin wood to give the contrast, and then used this cross banding and stringing to give a real detail and fine lines. It's a very, very elegant style, I think. But of course, a couple of hundred years later, around about 1900, there was a revival, and that's what this piece is. It's called a Sheraton Revival. But don't forget, at that time we were obsessed with travel. So in here would be our knickknacks from all our different journeys, from all around the British Isles, all around the world if you're lucky enough. And the cabinet would be full of interesting curios. But nowadays, 21st century, we can reuse this. It's a very good functional antique.
Oh, brilliant.
I think it's a beautiful piece, I must say, but you want to part with it.
Well, we're willing to part with it, yeah. So.
Oh, for the good cause, yeah.
That's right, yes.
Well, it's very handsome, I think.
Well, thank you very much. Joking about, it's a very attractive piece, and it does fit in with that modern style today. You know, it's very simple, very elegant. I mean, if I was being quite conservative here, I mean, if I said sort of 120, 150 pounds, I think if you polish this up a little bit, brought the wood back to life, I think you could do quite well with this, actually.
Oh, right.
You think she should do that? She should actually polish it up?
A bit of polish works wonders.
Thanks, Paul.
So Cherie needs to get to work on it, but not just yet, as we have to find a few more things to take to auction. Paul comes across a ceramic tankard in the study, designed to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the National Maritime Museum. Cherie bought it for Syd as a birthday present about 20 years ago. It should attract any nautical enthusiasts in the sale room. The stage was very much at the heart of Syd and Cherie's lives, but Panto has a deeper meaning for both of them.
Because you two met in Panto, didn't you?
We did,
Yeah.
Go on, tell me more.
Do you really want to know?
I do.
1972, and we'd just done Crackerjack.
Oh, right.
You remember that? And
Yeah, I
with
do.
Elaine Page, actually, I got a picture here of Elaine Page somewhere. And it was that was it, Crackerjack. And then we went into pantomime, and it was Diddy David Hamilton. Do you remember him, the DJ?
Absolutely.
And me and Ed, and she was one of the dancing girls, and that was it. It was love at first sight in a way, really, wasn't it?
Was that?
Well, for me it was. No, for me it was, but
No,
Cherie,
it was, yeah.
Cherie sort of like it took a bit of time, I think, to come round, because it's not. I didn't get off to a good foot when a good footing, because I sent my brother, who was our road manager at the time, to ask her for a date for me. So
you
said,
did?
well, ask him for
did?
himself. Come and ask me himself.
Oh, I don't blame you. Well, my mate says he fancies you. Is that what?
That's it. So would you like to go out? If he wants to
Let him
me
ask
out.
him himself.
Ask me himself, yeah.
I'd love to know more, though, about the charity, the cause today, Alzheimer's.
Well, it's something close to my heart because it's my best friend Tracy. Her father suffers with it and he's in a nursing home. And I just felt it's a way of saying how much I care about her in a way, because I do. And it doesn't just affect the person that has it, it affects the whole family, like Margaret, his wife, the grandchildren, everybody. And it's sad. We've seen the deterioration from the beginning.
Oh yeah.
And it's really sad, yes.
Well, it is a great cause, and hopefully we'll make at least £500, maybe a bit more if we're lucky, yeah?
Fingers crossed, I hope so.
Well, as a well-known person says, what is it? Every little helps.
Indeed.
Little.
Oh, very good. But we'll have to do some more work if we're going to make the money. So
Probably.
let's
No
lead
more
on.
tea.
We'll find somewhere else
Right, let's go.
to look around.
Don't want to leave that fire. It's
I know, it's
lovely.
lovely, isn't it? But let's go.
Do you know, it's great to have the chance to help Syd and Cherie raise money for such a worthy cause, and it feels as if we're doing well so far. Just to move us along, Syd's friends at the charity have sent over this box, which contains a silver-plated bangle, a cigarette box and a pocket watch. They all date back to the 1920s and could fetch between £40 and £60. Meanwhile, Paul's down in the kitchen, scouring the shelves.
Ah, you're here, are you?
Alan, just in time. Just put the kettle on.
You love your tea, you don't you?
I do that, yeah.
I found this, Paul. Well, I haven't found it. It was donated by the charity.
Oh, right.
Alzheimer's.
Oh, that's fantastic, isn't it? Look at that. Hey, it looks a good one as well, actually.
Does it? Oh,
yeah.
good.
So, have you ever worn a pocket watch?
I did have one. I remember when I was sort of in my 20s, but everyone took the mickey out of me, so I lost it.
Right, well, these really were kept for best. It's a dress watch. I mean, what would happen, a gentleman would have a silver pocket watch for every day, or perhaps a gunmetal, and that would be worn on the waistcoat. These gold watches tended to be just for special occasions. So if you're going out for the evening or a wedding or that sort of thing, you'd wear this item, which is why lots of them have survived in this sort of condition. It's beautiful, isn't it? And what a generous thing to give. And there are 3 different types of pocket watch. The first one being a full case, which is where you can't see the face at all. The second one is a half hunter, where it has a small gap, if you like, we can tell the time. And the third type is an open face, which this one is, which you can see the whole face from one go. All these Roman numerals in the back. And this one dates sometime after about 1910, so I'd put this about 1920, 1930.
Oh.
And I can tell that because it's got a screw wind, it's not a key wound. But let me just check to see whether it's rolled gold or solid gold. Let's have a look. No, this one is solid gold, look at that.
Oh, so it is gold then?
Solid gold.
Wow.
They didn't give you a chain that went with it or anything?
No, that was it.
So what you've got is a 1920s solid gold open face pocket watch in good condition. I mean, if I said sort of around the £100 mark, sort of
Whoa.
80 to 120,
Yeah.
that sound all right to you?
That sounds all right to me.
It's certainly handsome, but will it turn out to be worth its weight in gold? We'll find out soon enough. Our day in Lancashire is almost over, but it seems there's one last offering in Syd's den that could help us to victory on auction day.
Now, I've got to ask you, Sherry,
Yeah?
where have all these boats come from? There seems to be a fascination with all things nautical going on here.
There is, that's Syd.
Right.
He builds all these. He's built.
Yes,
Yeah.
I found the one I didn't build.
All right, OK,
Yeah.
so you actually made some of these, and that's fantastic.
Yeah, but not that one. I got that, would you believe, in an antique shop. Well, it wasn't an antique shop, it was like a junk shop, you know. And I think I paid about £30 for it. But to me, it's worth everything. It's just the way it was built. I don't know when it was built, you know that, but...
Well, these tend to be very 1970s, actually.
Are
I mean,
they?
the Golden Hind. Well, these are actually reproduced. I mean, don't forget, this originally, the original Golden Hind was sailing in the 16th century, 1570s, that sort of time. So in the 1970s, there was a massive interest in that particular vessel. So lots of these things were inspired. So you get lots of paintings, you get lots of models, lots of kits that you could buy. And of course, the Golden Hind, famous for circumnavigating the globe, commissioned by Elizabeth I, which is why you got ER on the sail here, which is fantastic. But it was belonging to Sir Francis Drake. And it really was the ship that sparked the Anglo-Spanish War. I mean, when he went out to Brazil and the Caribbean, he bumped into lots of Spanish ships. And apparently the booty that he brought back home after circumnavigating the globe was enough to pay off the national debt, which was
Wow.
amazing. Now, can you imagine doing that today? It would be a fortune, wouldn't it?
It's lovely, that, though. I just love anything nautical, and that is a nice little ship, and I just hope it does well. I hope it gets a lot of money, that's what I hope.
Well, let's hope so, yeah. I mean, I think it's the sort of thing that people do tend to collect. Now, I mean, I can see that it's quite desirable. I mean, the amount of work gone into that, I mean, it's one of the most famous ships that the British Navy's ever had. So if I said around the 100 mark, sort of 70 to 100 pounds, I mean, would that help you?
You're dead right, yeah.
All right.
That's brilliant, actually. If we could make that at auction, that would be, well, it'd be wonderful. Wonderful for you, wonderful for the charity. And I think, actually, that means with a grand finale like that, we can end our rummaging, which is a great relief all round, isn't it? OK, well, if everything goes to plan at the auction, and based on Paul's lowest estimates... Now, what was your target this morning, did you say?
£500.
£500. All right, well, we're hoping that you will make, actually, £680.
Oh,
Yeah, that's all right.
Fantastic.
yeah.
So fingers crossed then.
Absolutely. Well, that would certainly
Brilliant.
help the charity, wouldn't it?
Well, dead right, yeah.
That's
yeah.
lovely.
OK. Well, thanks ever so much. We had a great day, and we'll pack everything up and we'll see you at the auction.
Thank you very
Lovely.
much.
Thank you.
Considering Syd's attachment to his nautical memorabilia, it's very generous of him to send the Golden Hind into service. What a great end to our rummage. And here are some of the other pieces going under the hammer. Syd's showbiz memorabilia. Some little and large fans might just turn up and pay well over £20 to £30 for it. The Yamaha Pacific guitar could rock and roll its way to the stars at £70 to £100. And let's not forget that Thomas Sheraton-style cabinet, our most stylish lot, which deserves to make its asking price of £120 to £150. Still to come on Cash in the Celebrity Attic, the little lots just fly out of the sale room.
Whoa! Oh, what a result! What a result!
It doesn't take Syd long to prove he's still got that old magic.
Go in, go in, go.
Be there when that final hammer falls.
Well, we certainly had a laugh up there at Fleetwood with Syd Little and his lovely wife, Cherie. Syd's donating some wonderful items to help his chosen cause, the Alzheimer Society. And today we brought everything here to Cuttlestone's auctioneers at Penkridge, near Stafford. Now, Syd wants to raise £500 for the Society, but we're hoping the bidders here will be even more generous when his items go under the hammer.
It's early on auction day in this very picturesque village. A cattle market in Victorian times, the modern-day sale room is already getting busy, with plenty of interesting lots to keep the bidders occupied. One man who's certainly at home here is our expert Paul Hayes, and he seems quite excited about the Littles' chances today.
Do you remember that Syd's garage? Remember that bit of furniture that was a bit distressed? Needed a bit of loving care. Take a look. Isn't that fantastic?
Goodness.
Yeah, he's given it a good old polish. He's brought it back to life. That's what I was saying. Look at that. It's got a lovely, rich colour.
It's scrubbed up well.
It has.
Rather like you.
Thank you very much.
Cherie's efforts have definitely improved the cabinet's chances of making a top sale. As our couple take in the sale room buzz, I hope they're feeling as optimistic as we are.
Well, you're saying goodbye to some quite personal items today, really. I mean, you've kindly donated your guitar, I suppose, is top of the list.
Yeah, it's been around the world a few times with me, and I played it on the QE2, and it's it's good. It'll be sad to see, but I've got my felt tip pen, and I can actually sign it if they want it signing. That is, yeah.
Brilliant.
Do you want to sell it as well?
Yeah.
Do you think that's a good idea? I mean, do you want to
is a
go and
good
sell it up
idea.
on the rostrum? And
Oh, I'd love to. Yeah. Oh, great. But beware, though. I'll be on there for an hour.
Well, the auction is about to start, actually, so let's go and find a good place. Shall we go this way? Come on.
Follow me.
The first of Syd's lots has a nautical theme, and as we know, that's very close to his heart. Paul had high hopes for this scratch-built model of Sir Francis Drake's famous Tudor warship.
On the Golden Hind at £40. £40 only bid. Who says 45 quickly? At £40, the bid's with us and no mistake. 5 if we like. At £40. At £40, is there interest? We've got a commission, but that's all we've got. At £40, we sell it and no mistake at £40. Rate is
There's profit.
there's profit for you as well, but it's less than we expected.
Yeah.
Well, we had been hoping for a much more exciting start. That's just over half Paul's lower estimate. Still, there's plenty to come. In fact, the room ought to be buzzing over the next lot. It's more unique than we originally thought.
Do you know what? I think we might have a little bit of a sleeper going on here today. Do you know what a sleeper is? Something that's come in with a low estimate that might actually do quite well. And this is the bust of Nelson, which is very collectible anyway, but it's made by Royal Dalton and it's a limited edition. So that's very good. It's very collectible to the collectors out there.
Good.
And we will start the commission straight in at £50.
50 already, there you are.
At £50, 560, 570, 580, 590, 100. Bids with me at £100. At £100 bid, 10 now. At £100, 10 quickly.
It really is a sleeper.
110 on the web, 120 with me. At £120, the bid is with me, the web is out. At £120 we sell, £120. On commission at 120.
A lovely surprise, 6 times Paul's lower estimate. Syd and Cherie are obviously delighted with this result. Next to go under the hammer is another birthday gift from Cherie to Syd, again with a nautical theme.
Where do we start? Do we start the bidding £30? 20 start me surely. 20 I'm bid, 22, 24, 26, 28. I have ladies bid at 28, 30. I'll come to you all.
Oh, we're all bidding for it. There we go.
35.
Quite a lot.
35 standing at £35. 38.
Come on.
38, fresh money. 40, sir? 40. 45. 50. I have gentlemen's bid at £50. At £50 bid on the post there, selling £50 and done at £50. Yes, sir. 1849. Thank you.
There's a bit of battle. They recreated it there, didn't they? I think it went on.
Another great result. It's so good to see everything selling well. Back in the days when Syd was a regular fixture on our screens with comedy partner Eddie Large, it was his job to be the butt of jokes. And to this day, he's still up for a laugh. 228,
the Yamaha electric guitar and case with amp used by Syd, and he's on the way.
Yay! Woo!
It's fast, isn't it?
How'd you get in here? Right. Afternoon. I won't keep you, I promise. I am Syd Little. Hands up all those who thought I was dead. I've never seen so many hands go up at once, is there, in an auction room? Yeah, well, this is a guitar that actually, I've got a few at home, but this one is very dear to me in one way because this has been all around the world with me a few times and other places. And I'm going to start the bidding at, Ben, what do you think?
We've got a commission bid of £50.
Oh, £50!
Hey.
And if anybody wants it signed, I've got my felt tip pen, and it also comes with an amp. I actually found an amp in the attic, so we've got an amplifier, so it's a nice Christmas present for a budding Jimi Hendrix or Syd Little. So, £50, anybody? Oh, we're in at 50. 50?
All over the place.
What's that? 60? Any more than 60? I'll sign it. 60, 70, £70. £70. Well, £80. £80. You want it signed? £90. Oh, I like this. £90. Any advance on 90? 100 quid. £100. £100. And I won't sign it. It'll be worth more. No. 110. Is that unsigned? Yeah. 110 unsigned. 110.
He's getting excited, isn't he?
Oh, 120. Wow, £120. 130! Oh. £130 for this fantastic guitar! 140 is there.
It's double what we're expecting, actually.
140, any advance? 150! 150! Any advance on 150? 160! Sorry, folks, you'll be here till midnight. 160, any advance on 160?
His voice can't get it.
160? Go in!
Are you bidding, madam? Are you bidding? Oh, careful.
160! Go in! Go!
Sold, 160.
That was brilliant. Fantastic.
Syd's got a real flair for this, well over Paul's highest estimate. Let's hope the next lot gets as much interest and that someone here collects fairies.
At £35 on the net. That's
great.
Brilliant, yeah.
Thank you.
Another good sale for Syd and Cherie. People here seem to like their bits and pieces. Next is another of Syd's favourites. In fact, he likes it so much I'm surprised it actually made it to auction.
What we're looking for now is £70 for your Tantalus, which is a very generous donation, actually, because I know you still use this, don't you?
Yeah, we're going to miss it next Christmas, so shame, but we'll find another one, won't we, somewhere?
Hopefully so.
And we'll start the bidding at £50 on the nice
£50.
55, 60, 5, 70, 5, £75 on the Tantalus at £75. At £75, 80, thank you. 85, 90. I have the ladies bid at £90. Are we 5 now? 95, back in. Fill it up, madam. At £95.
95.
Just for charity.
Yes.
100, thank you. At 100,
Thank you.
at £100 for charity, John. It's not going to work twice. At £100, and we will sell, and no mistake, at £100. Thank you.
Oh, well.
There you go, that's good, isn't
Yeah, well, yeah.
1844.
Well, what a relief, especially in view of that damage to one of the decanters. And what's more, we made Paul's top estimate. In fact, he's been bang on target for most of the sales today. So let's find out how well we're doing so far.
Halfway through. Oh, it's been being sort of jittery, hasn't it? Nervous. When was he last that nervous?
Probably our wedding day.
Well, I'll tell you, there's really no need to be nervous because at the start of the day we said £500 would be great for your charity, Alzheimer Society. Well, at the halfway point, you have made £505. How about that? Well, you know, I think we deserve a bit of a break, or you can have a look around the auction if you want, OK? Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Not bad, eh? And we're only halfway through. Time for a well-earned cup of tea before the rest of the sale. Now, if you want to raise some extra cash at auction, don't forget that commission and other charges will apply, so check the details with your sale room to avoid any unexpected costs. So far today, we've done better than any of us could have hoped. Let's keep up the momentum in the second half, which promises even more. There's that lovely silver and glass swan given to Syd and Cherie as a wedding gift. And how could we forget that handsome Thomas Sheraton-style cabinet? Up next, a blast from Syd's past.
Well, do you know what I have noticed, actually, and well done to your credit again, you two, you've framed this caricature. It looks very well presented here, and that makes a big difference.
Yes.
An odd piece of paper is one thing, but a framed picture, different thing altogether.
Let's hope it works.
And we'll start it straight in at £20.
There we go, 20 quid, you got a commission. Fantastic.
And the poster's at £20. Who says 22? Thank you. At 22, I'm only bid at 24.
24.
28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40. No.
I'll sign it.
42. No, you said that last time and the price went down. £42.
Forget that then.
In front at £42.
tells the
I'll be
jokes.
44 anyway. At 42, and we will sell, and no mistake, at £42. You've got it, sir.
Well, there you go.
72.
That's
Thank you
great.
very
Thank you very much. That's great.
So, Supersonic Syd rides again. The memorabilia from his heyday will no doubt adorn someone's wall for many years to come. Now, what interest will there be in our silver?
At £60.
OK, there you go.
1844.
Very good.
Fantastic. Bang on Paul's upper estimate. Up next is this beautiful wedding gift, and we're all expecting it to make an impressive show.
And we'll start at £20. 10
20 we're in.
£20. Glass and the silver swan at 22, 25, 28, 30, 32, 35, 38, 40. £40 at £40. Who says 45? At 40, I'm bid. 5 quickly. At £40. Bid with us here at 45 and not. At £40, we're selling, and no mistake, £40. 1791.
Very nice.
Well, everything seems to be selling today, and that was right in the middle of Paul's valuation. Syd and Cherie must be thrilled that we're doing so well. Next to go under the hammer, the 1950s pocket watch. At 9 carats, let's hope it really is a pot of gold.
We've got another of the charities donations now here. I think the pocket watch, the gold one.
Yes.
It's from the Society again, the Alzheimer's, yeah?
Yes, I'm quite surprised actually, because when it was shown to Paul, he opened it up and it's solid gold. So, you know, I mean, I don't know if that bring the price. It should do, shouldn't it? The price of gold.
Yes, gold is really rocketing at the moment, isn't it?
It is really. I mean, the actual bullion price of gold has really gone up. But don't forget, this has an added value as well. It has the price of gold, but also the value of a watch. You know, it's an intrinsic item in its own right. I think that's nice. So I've put this in 80 to 120 pounds. Let's hope somebody agrees. But I think it's a great example. Let's see how we get on.
At £50, I'm only bid the watch. At £50 at £50. 5, thank you, at 55 on bid. 60. 70. 5. 80, I'll come to you all. 85. 90, sir? 90. 5. 100. 110. No? 110 on bid. And the ladies bid at £110. Are we 120? 120, thank you. 130. I have £130. Ladies bid at 130. At £130, 40 knots, and I sell at £130.
£10 over the top estimate.
The bidders are lapping it up. That's another one to top Paul's upper estimate. Let's see if the next lot, which belonged to Cherie's father, is one for the boys.
Lot 290A, and we will start in at £100. £100 a bid on the Steve toys. At £100, start me at £100. I'm bid 110, 120, 130. I'm out at 130 on commissions at 130. At 130, I'm only bid at 130 at 130. Who says 140? 140. 150. I bid £150. It's all gone nice and quiet because you know the cameras are on. That's 150 bid. 60 knots, and I'm selling at £150, all done at 150. 11.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah?
Those 1960s steam toys often attract enthusiasts of all ages, and today they've done us proud. Just one more lot to go. Display cabinets often sell quite well, and with that extra polishing from Cherie, we could be onto a winner here.
Now, what we want to know is whether all your hard work has paid off with that display cabinet. Looks great now.
It's a great example, and you have done yourself a favour. Let's hope that people agree here. All right, yeah. Let's see what value you've added to it.
And we already have commissions at £100 to start.
Start with 100.
We'll start at £100 on the display cabinet at £100. 110 a bid at 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170. I'm out at 170 bid.
170.
At 170 bid the cabinet there, 170. Are we 180? At 170 bid, at 180 quickly. At 170, we sell. 170 all done there. 180, fresh money. 190. Just look at it, John. 200. 210.
They're polishing.
220. 230. Have another look at it. At 230 bid. 240. No, he says 240's at the back at 240. At 240, we sell at the back of the room at £240.
Whoa! Oh, what a result! What a result!
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Woo, woo, woo.
What an amazing finale. Everything has sold, and for very respectable prices. There's only one thing left for us to do now, and that's tot up our total.
You know what? It's over. It's been really exciting.
It has, and I'm pleased because it's the first one I've actually put stuff in and sold, so we're over the moon.
Well, you really did your bit with selling that guitar. It's fantastic.
Yeah, that came good, didn't it? Yeah.
All right, at the start of the day, you're dying to know what we made, aren't you?
Yeah.
All right, the start of the day, £500 was the target for your charity, all going to the charity. You know you've made your target because we did that at half-time. You've actually made £1,167. Isn't that good?
Oh, I'm so pleased for the charity.
Oh, so we.
I think it's been worth coming just to see you auction off that guitar. So. That was priceless.
I don't want to do it again.
No,
So don't come round for another 20 years, will you?
Well, thanks ever so much for taking part. It's been a pleasure to meet you.
Well, we've enjoyed every minute of it. Thank you very much.
Syd has raised his money for the Alzheimer Society.
It doesn't matter whether it's tuppence or 2,000 or 2 million. Every little helps. I'm there again, aren't I? Well, Syd Little, it is my name, you know.
His donation will support many of the charity's activities, like this weekly tea dance. It's held at Twickenham Village Hall in Middlesex and helps people with Alzheimer's keep fit and relax, like Janice and Terry.
It gets you out because otherwise we'd be very isolated at home. If it wasn't for the Alzheimer Society, we'd be stuck in the house most of the time. And it's people who have the same sort of problems and they understand, you know, they're understanding, kind people. And it's just lovely. It's like a second family, really, with the Alzheimer's group. It's just really nice. You really enjoy it, don't you? Yeah, it does get us out. And he loves music. He loves music.
Sally and Martin also have no doubt about the benefits of this kind of gathering.
No matter how ill they are and what problems they have at home, they come in here and we are here to make them laugh and share our worries and our experiences.
I don't know what we'd do without it, actually.
No, it's very exceedingly important to us.